The world's sea routes are incredibly important for geopolitics. In fact, you could argue that whoever controls the seas has control over the world. Now let's talk about why this is the case, and what sea routes specifically are so important. Let's kick it off with 1. Global trade lifeline. Over 80% of global trade is carried out via sea routes. This makes them critical for the flow of goods and services around the world. Control over these routes can significantly impact a nation's economy and its ability to project power globally. 2. Energy transportation. A lot of the world's oil and gas is transported by sea. In particular, the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important energy choke points in the world. The Middle East, which has the largest oil reserves on Earth, relies heavily on sea routes for exporting their energy resources to the rest of the world. 3. Strategic choke points. There are several strategic choke points in the world's oceans that allow nations to control the movement of ships and military vessels. For example, the Strait of Malacca between Malaysia and Indonesia is one of the most important choke points in the world due to the volume of ships that pass through it every day. 4. Military and naval strategy. Sea routes are critical for military and naval strategy. They allow nations to project power globally and defend their interests abroad. For example, the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet is stationed in the Western Pacific to protect sea routes and ensure the free flow of trade. 5. Global connectivity. Sea routes facilitate global connectivity, allowing nations to communicate and exchange information quickly. This is important for diplomacy and maintaining relationships with other countries. For example, the Arctic Sea Route is becoming increasingly important as a way to connect the United States and Europe more quickly. 6. Economic security. Secure sea routes are crucial for economic security, especially for island and coastal nations that rely on trade. For example, the Strait of Dover is critical for the UK's economy, as it allows for the import and export of goods to and from Europe. 7. Influence on regional power. Control over sea routes can give a nation significant influence over regional power dynamics. For example, China's growing influence in the South China Sea has allowed them to assert dominance over the region. 8. Strategic competition. The control of sea routes is a source of strategic competition between nations. For example, the competition between the United States and China for dominance in the Pacific is partly a struggle for control over key sea routes. 9. Choke point vulnerability. Many sea routes are vulnerable to attack, making them potential choke points. This vulnerability can be exploited by hostile nations or non-state actors to disrupt trade and cause economic damage. For example, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait is a potential choke point that could be blocked by conflict in the Red Sea. 10. Support for alliances and partnerships. Sea routes often serve as lifelines for support for alliances and partnerships. For example, the Northern Sea Route along Russia's Arctic coast is a potential route for transporting supplies to support NATO and European Union allies in the event of a conflict with Russia. There you have it, folks. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share with your friends. If you want to learn more about geography from me, follow my social media accounts where I share additional content and engage with my followers. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content. Peace.